Guys, I want to talk about the issues that I see with guys over 40 years old who are kind of lost. You know, you're in a place where you're just coasting. And one of the reasons I believe you tend to be coasting is because you've accepted the status quo of your existence in life. I want to talk about a term I use called discipline in relation to identity. And what I mean by that, it's not a motivational type of discipline. This discipline by identity is more along the lines of actually utilizing your self-driven, let's just say your self-driven motivation to a place where you are ignoring and taking in this disciplined approach to life that is controlling your life and really helping you create a strong sense of identity as a post-40-year-old individual and a man who has his life in order and is taking control, rather than a man who is just boundless and scattered with regard to their life. And I see this time and time again where you've done these things and allowed yourself to go to a place, I've done it myself in the past, where you've allowed yourself to just not have any boundaries, just accept the status quo, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want, do whatever people tell you to do, where you're not setting boundaries or expectations for yourself. And then you get to a point where you have this aha moment and you're like, how come I'm not happy? How come I'm not healthy? How come I'm not in a place where I thought I'd be as a 40-year-old guy? Well, I'm telling you why it's like that. It's because you haven't established an identity within yourself with boundaries and discipline. But you can get there, and I'm here to help you get there. Part of the way to get there is to have a mindset shift, and that mindset shift requires discipline. But the discipline is within. The discipline is something that you derive from yourself internally on your own. Now, how do you do that? Well, with the mindset shift, you slowly start to focus on yourself personally and the things that you want to do and the boundaries that you want to establish for yourself, for your own sanity, for your own health and preservation. So think of it along the lines of doing something for you rather than doing something for your family, for your spouse, for your loved one. Something that you're doing for yourself from a health perspective. I'll give you an example for me personally and what I talk about on the platform all the time. It's health, right? So for purposes, for my growth, for me being able to take control and create an identity and a discipline for myself, I knew I needed to get my blood work done, and I knew I needed to go see a provider who was going to assess me, find out about my hormones, find out where I was, because I just didn't feel right. And when I went and saw that provider, I got my blood work done, I started to get into a place where I was kind of working my way into controlling myself and the consequences of the actions that I was taking. That one small step of going to that provider and doing that particular task was monumental for me, because it moves me in a direction of discipline and self-accountability in a positive way. And this self-accountability is something that you need to work on in order to help build that identity and get yourself out of that boundless fog that you may be in as an over 40-year-old guy just living your life. And I'm telling you this because I went through it again, that once you start to focus on these little steps of identity-based discipline, you're going to move in a different direction, and that direction is towards clarity. You're going to focus more on things that you can do that will help you derive happiness and take you out of this fog place that you may be in because of not having the boundaries, not establishing certain guidelines in your life because you were basically accepting the status quo and doing what you thought you were supposed to do as the man, as the provider, as the head of the house. But you failed to realize that the most important thing that you could do for everyone around you is take care of yourself first. And by not doing those things, you lost yourself. So these are the things that we need to talk about to help us move forward, because you lose this entire structure by not adhering to the disciplined approach towards your life and the safeguarding of the things that you need to do for yourself personally for your own growth. And it covers a lot of the things we talk about with the collective and a lot of the things that I focus on with regard to this platform. And by being able to move forward in the direction of boundaries and setting these goals for yourself as you move forward, you're going to see changes in not only how the people perceive you and the things that you may be doing, but your opportunities are going to start to grow because you're slowly putting yourself in a place of more clarity and a place where you'll be able to see things that you didn't ordinarily see before because of that fog that you were in. These are the things that we talk about with the collective. This is where I'm so passionate about. If you like this content, I've got a lot more coming. Like and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on the platforms. If you have an interest in joining the collective, let us know. We're here for you. And remember, keep it pro to pro, and we got a lot more coming your way.